Formula One is a sport obsessed with fractions of a millimeter. Teams run petabytes of simulation data just to shave a tenth of a second off a lap time. It's an environment where cold, hard logic usually dictates success. But by 2024, the Aston Martin Aramco F1 team hit a wall. Despite a massive influx of cash and state-of-the-art facilities, their development had entirely plateaued, leaving them stuck firmly in fifth place. The standard corporate playbook, running endless wind tunnel tests and bolting on iterative aerodynamic upgrades, was yielding absolutely zero progress. Lawrence Stroll decided to abandon the traditional hiring pool entirely, seeking a leader whose methods relied on something other than spreadsheets and simulators. When billions of dollars of empirical data leave a team in exactly the same spot, the only remaining option is absolute structural disruption. Stroll bypassed the traditional executive search firms, eventually locating his new hire in a shadowed corner of the Silverstone paddock, clutching a glass jar filled with human teeth. He appointed a man known simply as Danhausen as the new team principal. Dropping a man wearing face paint and a cape into the ultra-precise nerve center of a Formula One factory created an immediate, jarring clash of cultures. The minimalist reception desk was replaced with a creaky wooden podium. Standard corporate green attire was updated with mandatory Batwing motifs, and senior staff were required to wear red, high-collared capes over their team shirts. The professional atmosphere of the Silverstone base had been replaced by a mandatory ritual of bowing to the new principal and declaring him the overlord of speed. At the team's Silverstone base, the operational baseline was aggressively rewritten. The high-tech corporate facade gave way to a leadership style demanding all employees physically bow to the new principal. When it came to corporate compliance, Danhausen's approach was novel. He publicly dismissed the FIA's strict financial cost cap as a myth, calling it a silly rule for silly people. This diagram illustrates the new aerodynamic philosophy. Wind tunnel data was thrown out. Instead, the engineering team was instructed to design a fang floor and make the front wings sharply pointed, specifically to poke competing cars. The specific engineering mandate was clear. The airflow moving over the chassis couldn't just be smooth. It had to physically feel cursed. Surprisingly, the personnel adapted quickly. Veteran driver Fernando Alonso looked at the aggressive new geometry and calmly accepted it as an innovative evolution. Danhausen replaced the pursuit of marginal aerodynamic gains with a strategy built entirely on psychological and supernatural warfare. The leadership team saw immediate restructuring. Technical director Mike Crack was abruptly reassigned to a brand new role, head of the cursing department. His department had a highly specific mandate. Instead of optimizing gear ratios, they focused on targeted sabotage against rival teams, ensuring that competing team principals received tiny flat tires on their bicycles and that the FIA office coffee machines only brewed decaf. This aggressive internal strategy also extended to the team's driver lineup, particularly concerning reserve driver Felipe Drugovich. To protect Lance Stroll's seat, Danhausen implemented the Drugovich curse. The reserve driver suddenly found phantom pebbles permanently lodged in his racing boots, and his simulator runs were interrupted by unskippable 30-second YouTube ads. By making the working conditions intensely irritating for anyone else to endure, Danhausen executed a technically flawless employee retention strategy for his preferred driver. The first true test of this system arrived at the Belgian Grand Prix. The garage workflow was completely unrecognizable. The mechanics performed a choreographed ritual to the speed gods before every pit stop, while each set of tires was personally blessed with dirt from the Nürburgring. Instead of reviewing telemetry on a bank of monitors, the team principal sat directly on the pit wall, holding a painted megaphone to actively scream curses at passing cars. The reliance on complex algorithms and real-time data analysis was entirely scrapped in favor of active, hostile spellcasting. The trackside results validated the method. A perfectly timed rainstorm, which Danhausen claimed to have summoned, allowed Aston Martin to pit for intermediates, right as a highly distracting, unexpected minor fire broke out on Red Bull team principal Christian Horner's pit stand. The final blow to the competition was even stranger. Max Verstappen's seemingly unbeatable car suffered a mysterious system glitch, forcing the cockpit radio to play nothing but loud polka music. The return on investment for this chaos was a first-place finish for Fernando Alonso. During the podium celebration, the new team principal proudly stood before the crowd, joyously holding up his jar of teeth. Aston Martin finally broke their development stalemate by completely abandoning the very logic that governs the rest of the grid, opting instead for a strategy built on teeth, capes, and whispered curses.